Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Commodity Futures Report for Monday, March the 7th. So just on the 10-year yields here, as you may know, we've been looking for the A wave and B wave and C wave up here for this top here. I thought there may be another little one here. I hadn't pulled it apart, but it must be in there. But let's just see how this goes. Let's see if this gives us a classic trading levels pattern on the 2%, the major trading level here, or just continues to the downside. So I've just been giving it a little bit of space. Let's just wait and see how this plays out here. No, I mean, we sort of look for a top here, and yeah, but I'm not really seeing a good impulse. I mean, I could look at this as an impulse wave to the downside or corrective. I just wanted to give it a little bit of time. Okay, so yeah, let's just continue to see how that plays out. In terms of the US dollar index here, we've got from wave 4 here, we've been counting up, as you may know, as 1 and 2, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then I was just looking at this here. I could look at this in a couple of different ways. I could put wave 4 over here or just keep it here. I decided to keep it here, but yeah, as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and going up for wave 5. So that's getting close. I was waiting for another little move. That's come into there. But I don't know if that's correct, if we need to put this over here and look at this as 1 and 2, because it's a nice third wave here, you know, and then a fourth and a fifth. So maybe this wave 3 needs to be over here. It will reveal itself in due course, but we're heading up to 10 here, one major level. So whichever way you want to look at it, it's still going higher, and the euro's moving lower on that note. So look, on track here, everything's good, and we'll reach our target up there, and we'll see how we go from that point, see what kind of reaction we get there, if it's corrective or impulsive. Okay, US spot gold. So as I've mentioned before, we've got this triangle pattern here, and I prefer to have the wave E of 4 here on this. It gives me a nice A, B and C here. I know that we could probably squeeze wave 1 out of here and have wave E of 4 here. If we've got wave 4 of E here, we can count this up as an impulse wave 1 and 2 here. Otherwise, if we take it from here, I need to go 1 and 2 and 3 here and 4 here and then 5 here, and then that would give us wave 1 up to that point. So I'm not sure which is which here, but what I can say is that well, at 2000, which is a major level 2, and old highs, of course, over yonder. So we can expect the market to have a bit of a dance around here. We normally look at a bullish pattern like this here, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the ABC, and then sitting on here and then going up. So we are going up. We'll either go through it like this here, or we could look at it more simply like this, the arrival, which we're here now, the reaction, the first high above the level, some sort of pullback that finds support on the 2000 and then moves to the upside. So one way or another, but yeah, I still think that, I mean, even in this leg, I think that we've got wave 1 here and 2 here, and we're going up for 3, and we need to just keep counting up through here. So we could just, like a lot of commodities, are just plowing straight through, you know. I'm just going to cut straight to the 100 tick chart and bring in, probably overkill, but this is good. Yeah, so yeah, so I can pick it up from here actually. I'll just plonk in this here. And I'll put our little wave 4 in here as well. It'll just give us some sort of reference point there. So yeah, look, I've been counting up here, as you know, as 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave. I had a bit of difficulty in this. I still got a bit of difficulty, but it's such a beautiful 5-wave structure coming down here. And then I've got a nice 5 waves up here as well. But I think the best fit is to look at this as the A wave, the B wave and the C wave at this point. I could probably shift it over here as well. But yeah, I mean, this is a nice corrective wave. This would probably be impulsive. So I'm going with that with this. I may need to change this and put this over here, but it's hard for me to do that because of that impulse wave. But 1 here and ABC for 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 starting to get nice impulse waves here, making life easier. Corrective wave, I'll plonk this over here. Could go here, but I'm going to put it here for the time being with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So yeah, I mean, I would just expect coming up to this point we will get something at minimal like this here, and then further upside at that point. And we can look at our levels to the upside here in terms of, well, 100 here will be, I'll just give this a little bit more definition. So that will be 100, and I'll just borrow these back down here. Give these some definitions in this particular chart anyway. Whoops-a-daisy, that should have been up there. So at 2000 here, we've got 100, 200 and 300. That makes up minor group 1. And that's important because if we get support on top of minor group 1, well then that's going to take us to, it's not only going to take us to 2,500, but what it actually does is it separates the market from being pulled back to the 2,000 here. That's the important point of it there. So we can see this pull up to here. That will give us something like this here. If we've got a wave 4 there, yeah, wave 4 can pull us back to this point, and then wave 5 will take. So you can see that we're going higher. It's just how high we go. So when we go back, I should just go back to the, let me go back to the weekly chart here just for a moment. Okay, that's good. So in a way, we're looking for this particular pattern here. Okay, so this is the pattern. So we've had blue wave 3 here, primary 3 here, and primary 4 here. This is our triangle pattern here. And then we're going up here for 5 waves. So normally, if we consider this the 2000 across here, then we'll look at minor group 1 up here. So 2,100, 2,200 and 2,300 roughly. Now it can go above the 300, but if it finds a tested support on 300, well then it's going to keep going at that point. So, but the normal thing is to go up into group 1 somewhere, 100, 200, 300, or maybe even 400. Can extend to 500 as long as it doesn't find support on 300 and then come back down. So, but what all we can do is track from that wave 4 is just count the 5 waves up, and it will take us to wherever we're going up that point. And then we should see a move back over here for this, a move back down, and then going up again from that point. Now, obviously, there's a war going on, a scuffle, we'll call it. But at this stage, anyway, you know, from little things, big things grow. So if it does grow, well, then it will probably end up looking like this and then moving up much stronger, higher and faster at that point. So, but from here, in a nutshell, what we try to do is count 5 waves up here. So 1 and 2 here, and then wave 3, 4 and 5, something of this nature. Now it can go above group 1 here, but that's kind of what we're looking for. And, you know, I think that's sort of in reason, but obviously there's some, you know, events going on out there that can drive it further. But I'm just talking about the norm, you know, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the ABC correction, and then going up again. That's the normal pathway. But we're not in normal times, so we may not see normal patterns. But either way, you look at this, buying gold shares, buying gold bars, buying silver, you know, buying any commodity really. You know, 90% of them are going through the roof. And when I look at this here, it's just kind of starting. You know, we'd always been looking for this, and yeah, sure, I got it wrong. You know, I was expecting one more leg down to 1720, 1700 before it went up. So yeah, I made a mistake, and a big one. I don't know. You know, it's not easy being right all the time. It's hard being perfect. Or is it simple being perfect? Is it just a state of mind? I don't know. Anyway, I just thought I'd shoot the breeze on that. So we're here at the moment. So basically, we should see some little, vibration here. We should see a smaller version of, of this here, really. There's degrees. Markets are just trends and corrections of different degrees. So in the big picture, we're looking for something like this. In the micro picture, we're also looking for something like this. They're just reoccurring patterns. So anyway, that's where we are. And I feel very happy for the gold bugs. They were stuck in this correction for a long time, and now the Bitcoiners are going to be stuck in a correction like this. I think there's going to be sort of more of this, so the money's going to flow into gold, and then it's going to flow out of gold into Bitcoin, and then this is going to come down, and all those sorts of things. So best to just have affairs rather than get married to particular markets, or at least split your bets. You don't need to be stuck on one thing. It's not healthy. It's just good to be mature about things, and not get stuck on particular brands of things, and marry those brands. Not good. Anyway, yada yada yada. So silver. So as you know, I was looking from silver wave 2 here, with wave 1 here and ABC for an expanded flat, and then 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2. So we're going up for wave 3 and 4 and 5 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we're moving and grooving up here. Now I think I need to put this back again over here. I think I'm going to have to put this up here now that I think about it. I did have it like this, now I'm changing it back again. But yeah, so anyway, so that's going to be higher and higher and higher up this way, so that will need to go up there. We'll need to put that up there. We'll just move those out the way there, put that over there. I'll need to shift these as well. That will probably be up there somewhere for that, and that's not ready to go. That will be up there. Sorry about that. There's still 1 and 2 in here, so there's smaller waves to be had in here. So I'm not sure about that spike there just yet. I'll just check on that a bit later. But I know that there's 1 and 2 in here, and then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there'll be a 3 there, 1, 2, 3. There'll be a 4 somewhere in there, and then a 5 up into there somewhere. So it'll be something like that. Yeah. Anyway, I just see a massive trend for this, and we'll have a look at the bigger picture another day again. For silver, I'm just going to save that because it needs to be saved. Iron ore, yeah, I always miss it. I don't know why, but it's always in the Australian video. We always cover it there, and we cover the BHP and those sorts of things. So, but yeah, so we've had this big correction down here as an A and a B and a C, and then we've been picked the low, we've been working the move to the upside, kind of got this wrong a little bit, but I thought we had it as an alternative count. We need to look at it like this. So we're looking, there still could be a B wave up here, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. We know that that the CCP want to keep the iron ore prices down. They're telling their traders to keep the lid on it, but we know that that's not possible. But anyway, looking at wave 1 and 2 here, at worst, wave 2 could be back over here as an A wave here, B wave up here, and a C wave pushing it back down again. It's possible. Otherwise, we could look for a 50-60% retracement level back here for this, but BHP and that look like they're moving off kind of nicely. But a B wave up here would suit companies like FMG, Fortescue Metals, and so on, yeah. But either way, you look at this. We've got 5 waves here. We're going to get another 5 over here. So simple as that. And because this is corrective here, then we'll be taking that top out there. So China's not going to be able to keep a lid on this commodity. Rightio. Crude oil. I thought we'll just have a look at the bigger picture again. So a little bit like gold, really. We've had, well, not just gold, emerging markets and so on. You know, even Russia's got a triangle pattern like this, an A, B, C, D, E here. And, you know, when they went into, what's the name, in 2008 and 2014, they went into another country and so on, Crimea, I think it was. So now they're into this one here, which is Ukraine again, you know. So that will finish off their wave 4. But this pattern here is quite common to a lot of markets, copper as well, and so on. So yeah, we've talked about crude oil being $200 a barrel before. You know, I mean, you know, when you've been around long enough, you know there's nothing too high, nothing too low. But you know, boy, you know, when you look at this and copper and that, you know, these commodities are going to be, you know, you know, I don't know. I mean, maybe, you know, the stock market normally tops out first and commodities top out. You know, they're the last ones to top out. So maybe the stock market has topped out, and we're in the last sort of cycle here for commodities. But still, it's going to take us a long time here with all of this, I'd imagine. So still, even if we put wave 3 over here, because wave 3 normally comes in at the old highs over here. So yeah, so we could look at it a bit, shape it up a little bit more like that, because it is moving along a bit faster than I thought. But there we go. I mean, a lot of, you know, analysts say that you know, even though down here they're saying that we would get 140, $150 a barrel here, and rightfully so. It was the old highs here where the hedge fund sort of helped pushed it up. They got involved in it at that point, but there's always a story behind that too, isn't there? So, but my story is that, well, not my story, as W.D. Gann would say, double tops, when we get that, are never the end of the bull campaign, as he would say. But yeah, double tops are not the end of trends in a technical analysis scenario. So yeah, I mean, up at the 180, 200, I mean, that sounds about right to me. So yeah, how to count all of this. Let's just cruise in. You know, I've looked at this in different ways, but whichever way I've looked at it was pointing up, so it's still doing the same thing. So you know that we talked about this here in terms of, well, really still do that now, having wave 1 here and wave 2 here, then wave 1 and 2 as well in all of this. But you know, what we're seeing here is you know, wave 5, wave 3, you know, price movements within all of this here. So yeah, I still don't think this is right here. This would be, I mean, it's kind of like this needs to be over here for this, really. I think something like that. I know I keep shuffling it around, but it's got to sort of gel with me, you know. This would be, this was what would suit me better at this point. That would be further up there. I'm just going here on intuition, really, what I would normally be looking at, you know. So I think you got to trust your intuition. If you don't trust it, if you don't use it, you lose it. Then there would be wave 4 at that point. So I think it's really something like that. It's interesting though, isn't it? Because we've got this gap here. If this gap doesn't get covered, then it's like that's the middle of the trend. And what I mean by that is that all these waves up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and then we're starting to get this price action, which is kind of suits right in the middle of the gap. That would be halfway of the whole trend to the upside. So all all of this down to this point, that's just the halfway mark, all of that price action. So really, we could get this here and flip it over on its head and stand it up over this side over here, you know, and that would be the other side to it, and that'll take us to the 200 at that point. So in these cases, we're in a series of 1s and 2s, and this is the middle here. Now we're in 3s and 4s and 5s in this space, you know. So we still need, copy this, we still need wave 4 here, and wave 5 to the upside. So that will take us up in here somewhere. So it looks like, you know, this situation, you know, that's happening in Europe is you know, going to be here a bit longer than we, you know, than anybody wants, really. Anyway, okay, so I'll just go to the daily chart. I don't think that's going to be much sort of chomp for us, but I'm just going to go to the tick chart and come back to this 100 ticks. I might have to start using a bigger tick bing. 20 is not enough. Well, 20 gets us to here, so just something. So yeah, so wave 3 here. So we've got from this wave 2 here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as we were counting. And I suppose we should put in a stop now. Just plonk it here for the time being. Because we just really move the stops once we've got support on the next, you know, in the next space. So we've got a position here. So looking at all of this as wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So it's still too small though. Still too small. But I'll just label it for the time being, because you've got to build a case for everything, and I'm just working on the hop here. So it's probably, I mean, I'd like to put that there, but that's may not be the case. It's probably going to be over here. We don't need a lot of these levels here now, as helpful as they may have been. Wrong one. Yep. Right one. I think that's going to be like that, and that's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up there. So that's how that's sort of going to play out roughly. So I don't have all the answers, but we're going to get some sort of classic trading levels pattern here and across the 13 before we see any upside. So we can put that as wave 4 there, but it looks wave 4 just looks a bit low. I might have to extend that up a little bit. I'm just thinking wave 3 is maybe a bit small compared to wave 1 here. But look, what I can say is that we're heading up to 13,000, which is a major trading level, part of the Fibonacci sequence, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21. I don't normally use 21 because we use 20 instead. It's just sort of the psychology of the market. Traders think more of 20 than they will of 21, so to speak, you know. But 13 we can use as the top of group 1 of 10,000, so 1,000, 11, 12, 13, so we could use it as 1, 2, 3 as group 1, but it is important and it'll play out, and we can use it as a major level as well. When we're using stocks, we normally use that as $13. It plays out quite nicely, and 11.50 is the medium level here, touched here but gapped here. So yeah, I think we're sort of, if I'm wrong here, I'm wrong with that wave 3 being here, but either way we're still going up for this move here. Okay, copper. So this is the ETF here. Now I can look at copper as wave 1 here with an A and a B and a C, so a slight variation, or we can go over to the triangle pattern here. I'm sort of preferring more and more the wave 2. So this is the ETF. This is where we're sort of putting in money. So we've been building in here. We're at 3 here, which is 30, which is a major trading level. So we're going to see a bit of a dance across here. We want to be adding here. We want to be adding, I'll just draw these out in case it moves quickly because we've got more upside here. We want to be adding through 1, 2, and 3 here as support. That said, let's go and have a look at copper. So copper, a little bit like oil in a way, that big triangle pattern here. This is US high grade copper, but LME copper is same same pattern. Yeah, so I'd been, I thought this was a triangle pattern, so I was looking at it as wave 4 here, then going up for wave 1. But I think I'm going to have to change this around a little bit now, and I'll just put that there and this here. I have got 5 waves up here to match that there, which is on the weekly chart, which we've seen before, but I'll just go back over it. Look, I'm not the smartest, slate on the roof. It just takes me a while to get things organized. But from here, we've got 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave for 1, an A and a B and a C wave here. Maybe a bit more like an irregular sort of situation, I don't know. But yeah, then looking at this here, because I was kind of looking at this in terms of, I can take that to the 50, we're at the 50,000, which is a major trading level, so there's going to be a little bit of a dance across here. If this is wave 1 here, then we'll be looking for, from here, basically, we'll be looking for another wave 1 up to this point, and then going up again from that point. If I look at this here, I don't know what I've got on the daily chart. Okay, I've had the triangle pattern here, but I just want to go to a tick chart and just sort of look at that through different eyes here. Don't know how much data we need, but that's plenty. So yeah, looking at it slightly different here. So I'm thinking that we could look at this. See, what sort of catches me from this low here is I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for this. I could probably, I had it on the 1000 tick where I was looking at this. I'll go through the same thing on the 1000 tick because I just had it labelled a bit. Now it might be a little bit weird and I'm just sort of shooting the breeze here. So we could still have the triangle pattern and that's all good. We've seen, we've been working through triangle patterns with commodities. So it's still possible, but I need to think out, keep thinking outside the box all the time and looking at everything, to help with the count. Because this move here is really powering off into, obviously a third wave. So that made me sort of think, is it possible to have this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here, and then some sort of A wave, B wave, and C wave over here, one that never really pulled back at that point, Anyway, I'm just sort of mulling that over a little bit. Probably not the case, but I'd sort of like to share if I can. Either way, we're going up and we're hitting 50. So let's go back to our daily chart first. Oops, too much in here. Let's just shrink that back a bit. So yeah, I've been in two minds about this for a little bit here. Still haven't sort of quite resolved it, but doesn't matter that much. But one of the things that we need to resolve is we need to put, what have I done here? Okay, I'll just leave all that as it is. But we are looking at this as a possible wave 1 up here now and wave 2 back to this point. But it's not in stone. It's okay to run 2 counts. I mean, the good news is that they're both in the same direction, so that's good. But it will help us, not get lost in one particular thing. So, look, anyway, just here, I won't spend much time on it. But once again, here we could expect the market is strong. So we'll probably get a smaller little thing across here. As I said before, normally we have the arrival here, the reaction, then the first high above the level, and then we have the ABC here. But when you get such a large correction here, which is the accumulation process through here, Richard Wyckoff's work, then that distance across here should equal the height here. So squaring time with price up here, so that distance in accumulation should equal the distribution here, unit for unit in Wyckoff's words. So when we get a big pattern under a level like this, we don't normally spend much time here, and we don't because normally we'd look for the first high above the level and then the ABC pattern. But because if we got this here, it's sort of like all this energy is just going into the, you know, into the cylinder here, and it's just going to continue to push up. And I think that's what we're up against. I have mentioned that before, but it's good to talk about it again. So I think that we'll see just a small scenario here for this, you know, before pushing up higher. We still got the levels here, so we can still look at 51, 52 and 53, and then we have 55, and then we'll have 58 after that. 58 up here, then we can talk about group 2. So we can just see how these levels play out, and we can look at this this count internally as well. 100 ticks. Yeah, see, it's playing out here already like this, you know. So normally we just go long above this one, and then we'll drop it down to this one here. So that's, well, we can still do that. That's there. So that's all good. And you can go long on that one there as well. But the thing is to understand here that this move down here is probably in 5 waves, and then we got some sort of correction. So we got some sort of A, B, C correction here. So that means we'll take out that high here. But the thing is just looking at this one here, we've probably got 1 and 2 in here, or 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and we got this. So we could actually get a move up here and then back here again and then up again. So don't panic, you know what I mean, if you're you know, if you're going into this, but you should be in the other one, you know. This is this is a futures contract, which is fine. Just that the ETF will be easier for most folks. In handling, you don't have to handle leverage at that point, because you need to be an experienced trader to trade with leverage. So let's just go back and get a bit more data in here. Sorry if I'm yakking on and making the video really long. I'll try and speed up a little bit. So I started to count it from this point, our triangle point here of 1 and 2, and then counting up here with 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave. And then coming up here for the 5th wave. I haven't counted that, but 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave, 4th wave and 5th wave. So we've got some sort of little 5th wave here, but I can still see that we need to go higher, so I'll have to put the 5th wave over here. So we probably get some sort of pullback in here. So, but yeah, it won't be big if we do, and then we'll be up again from that point. So continue to, you know, I'll draw green lines here, but you can do that on the other one. Alrighty, let me move along a little bit. Nickel, obviously, has been a little bit of a favourite of mine, of course, but yeah, I mean, it's really playing out nicely from here with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. I know there's issues with that, but 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So when we looked at all this before, we thought, well, I thought that, you know, this is loading up here. This is the 3rd of the 3rd of the 3rd of the 3rd. So the 3rd of the 3rd of the 3rd of the 3rd and the 3rd. So we really nailed it in here, and, you know, and really got to see this really strong move here. We're looking at the strongest. This is going to be the strongest move in the trend, because once again, this will be the middle of the trend here, and then later on, this commodity thing will go for, like, this has gone on for 1, 2, 3, so this will be 4. So there'll be another 4 years of this or something up here, I think. This is the way, I mean, the way I'm looking at it, just roughly speaking, you know. I mean, depends on how long wave 4 will go. And then we've got wave 5 here. We put that up there, and then we can look at where are we with that point. Then we've got wave 3 there, and then we've got wave 4. And then we've got wave 5, just mapping it out a bit. And then we've got 1 and 2 here, so we could just grab this one here and copy that there. That's going to be the top of the 3rd, and then we can copy that, and that's going to be the 4th. I mean, houses are going to double in price, aren't they? I mean, they'd have to. I'm glad I'm holding a few of those. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of it, which is interesting within itself. And obviously nickel is moving into the new world, as well, so that's also good. From 30,000 we can go to 50,000, and then there'll be 40,000 along the way. That will be that level there. So it certainly hasn't stopped here much. Yeah, but that's what it's looking like. On the daily chart, we can just move in here. I should be doing more work on this than I have done, but just not enough time in the day. But we were looking for this 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. Now, I don't know if I've got this right here. I just need to mull this over a little bit further, right? But somewhere along the way, we'll be looking for 4 and 5 here. Just have a look at what I've done on the tick chart. Okay, I'll just bring in a bit more data, maybe 20, probably too much. Oh no, it's okay. So, yeah, so we looked at this as wave 1 over, because we've still got positions in here that we've nurtured all the way through here, so that's well done for anybody that's got even part of that, you know. But anyway, wave 2 here, then wave 1 and 2, and then we had 1 and 2 here. So I'll put wave 1 and 2 here because we got 5 waves there. So we're really going into that strong part of the move here, you know. I've got wave 2 here, and I don't know, I'm still not sure about this one that I can't see inside here. But I'll just leave that there, so it's still a question mark, that one. And I have counted this up here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for 3 and 4. But I don't know if that's right, because yeah, it's still building. I think that we could look at all of these 5 waves here as wave 1 here, and then coming back for wave 2. So I need to mull that over a little bit. Not that it's going to make much difference at this stage, but I would prefer to have this up here as wave 3 up here, and then wave 4. So I need to work that out a little bit. But look, it doesn't matter. The market's going to stall at 35 here a little bit, and then maybe pull back and then push up. The trend's not finished to the upside, so you don't have to worry about anything too much. But I am going to keep the stop out of the way. I'll keep the stop out of the way. I mean, I can put it under 28, but I need the top of group 1, the 33 or the 35 as support. I need to know where support is, because that's where we need to move the stop to. So without that, we can't. But we've got most positions covered, all of this here. So we've done our job. So that's good. Well, the market's done the job for us, really, hasn't it? So yeah. Anyway, a little bit of work to do here, but. Expect some pullbacks, and we'll just find that support there when that comes in. But don't go taking profit yet, because this train's not stopping yet. Rightio, so moving on. So uranium. I'm a little bit concerned about uranium. So don't worry about the wave 2 here business just yet, but yeah, the move up here on the bearish side, because I got a little 5 waves here that could just be an A wave and a B wave and 1 and 2 in here and 3 and 4 and 5. I can't see in here, so I don't know, but I also need to assume that that's 5 waves down here. If that's 5 waves here, then that will push up into as an ABC into supply levels here and have another move down at that point. Now, it may just be a C wave, and it may not happen at all. We may just continue straight up here. I just can't see inside here. So based on that, from that low here, I need to look at this as an A and a B and a C wave for the A wave, and then a B wave here, and then 5 waves up here for the C wave. So just to let you know that I need to be cautious, but it's probably okay. But I'm moving our stop up to under this low here. If I see a lazy C wave coming down here, then I'll move the stop to accommodate that. But if I see a fast move coming down here, then I'm going to move the stop up to catch it. Okay, so I'll work that side of it. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to go long here, but we've got positions here anyway. But I'd like to go long here. I can see that that's impulsive. So in the first instance, that's going to be up here and then back and then up. Will it continue up? I don't know. It has to continue. It has to go past 3 waves first in that case, you know. So a little bit of a mystery here for this. So we'll just see how this plays out here. So we're definitely going to get 3 waves up. We'll just see if we continue or not. So it'd be nice to get on top here. That's going to make life a little bit easier, on top of the 25, I mean. Okay, and gas, so we're looking at gas in a couple of different ways, but we can look at it as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. God forbid, I mean, that's going to put the prices like crazy. But yes, we know that this is corrective, so we know that we're going to be pushing up. We've been looking at in a couple of different ways, so just on the 4-hour chart first. So this is a triangle pattern that we looked at. I mean, it's not a very nice looking triangle pattern, but it did everything that we wanted to do, because when we came down here, we wanted to pull back up 60%, 62%, whatever, and then down 62%. So it did that in 3 waves, and now it's moving off. So we could view it, and we will continue to view it like this, because it would be important for the wave count. It's moving up nicely. Could it get bigger and uglier? Yeah, sure. We could put wave D over here for an A and a B and a C for the D wave or something, and over here. So that's also possible as well. We don't know that just yet. Getting on top of the $5 mark will be very helpful indeed. So we'll just put that in there. Into trading level 5. So getting that as support, or some sort of classic trading level pattern, is going to be fantastic, because then that'll take us higher at that point. It does look like we've got 5 waves to here, and then a pullback, and then moving up here. So having 3 waves here is not it really. So I'll just put that in the background here, because I don't think it's the case, but you never know. So and then the other one was on this tick chart of 2K. So this is the 1 and the 2 here, and there's other 1s and 2s there, of course, and then 1 and 2 here, and then we've been building in. So we'll just keep going with this. This is looking all right here. We can see that we've got a little arrival here and reaction, a little first high above the level, but I don't know if that's going to pull back here, or if we go up here first and then pull back and then go up. I'm not sure how this is going to play out. It's a little bit small yet for a number like that. But what I can say, as I just mentioned, it does appear that we've got this move up. Well, I can get 5 waves to the top here in terms of 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and 5th wave. And we can look at that on the 100 ticks, but it just doesn't, I mean, it counts correctly, but it just doesn't feel right. Yeah, from here we've had 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2. Maybe I could put this wave, blue wave 1 here, and look at this as 1 here and 2 here, and then the 3rd wave here. And that's not going to work, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bit of a mystery, but just doesn't feel right. But 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and up for the 5th wave. But either way, we're going to keep the stop out of the way, and the worst that can happen is some sort of ABC pattern here, sitting in group 2 and then pushing up there, the worst case scenario. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Yeah, so I've got it as a top there, but it could certainly push up there, you know. It's a bit too early to tell, but that looks a bit corrective there, but also that's corrective as well. Anyway, Arthur and Martha, doesn't matter. Everything is looking good. No worries. Just hang on. It takes courage to make money. It takes courage to stay in a trend. The only mistake we really do is overtrade, so we can't stay in the trend. Okay, well, gas, that's it. So I'm finished. Alrighty. Thanks for putting up with me. Nice one. Cheers.